The Joe Rogan Experience.
Yeah, I don't have that confidence to waste the audience's time. Do you know what I mean? Like I'll see Chris Rock.
Yes.
Chris Rock's a friend of mine, and he'll go up and just like with nothing.
Yeah.
And just sit there and like very comfortably for 45 minutes and just kind of talk and look for things and has no problem with it whatsoever. And I'm
What
like,
else?
this would
What
kill
else?
me.
He'll go, what
Yeah.
else? What else? And he'll like stare at the sky, look at the ground. I can't. You know who was the master at that? Was Damon Wayans.
Oh my God.
Who a lot of people forgot. A lot of people forgot was one of the fucking still is one of the best comics ever. Damon was a goddamn murderer in the 90s.
Oh, I loved him
murderer.
coming up. But I remember going to the Ha Ha Cafe. They would do like a show every Tuesday that my friends would run. And Damon Wayans would always drop in and do an hour and ruin the show. Like he would have no material and he would just attack people in the crowd. By the time he was off stage, like the audience was furious. Like they went crazy when he came out, and then by the end they were just like, "Why is he doing this to us?" And we were like, "Oh fuck, Damon Wayans is here." And it was so funny. Somebody you like looked up to as a kid and like loved. You're just like, "Oh man, this asshole again."
Wow, that's crazy. I wonder why he was doing that. But I mean, I guess it was probably because he couldn't do it at the store anymore.
Yeah.
How many years ago was this?
God, I mean, at least 10, 12, 13 years ago.
Yeah, see, that puts it. That makes sense, right? Because that's around 2005. Yeah, that's like probably he stopped going to the store. The store probably tightened up the way they used to, because they used to just let anybody just drop. Like Eddie Griffin would drop in, wasn't on the schedule. He would drop in at 9 p.m. and get off stage at 3 a.m. and that was real.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was real. 6 hours.
That would kill me. That would kill me.
And then when he was done, he would be like, "Who's next? Who's next? Who's next, dude? You did 6 hours." Like,
what's the longest set you've ever done?
I think an hour and 40 minutes. Maybe a little longer. I don't remember. But I think an hour and 40 minutes is probably the longest I've ever done.
Yeah.
Yeah. But that's too long.
Too long.
Yeah. An hour and 20 is more than anybody should ever have to hear you talk.
Yeah.
And even that is like pushing it. What I like to do when I do like a theater, I do an hour or an hour and 10, and I just want to just start and then finish. Just come on, go, ready, and then for 1 hour, I want everything to be tight and concise, and I would way rather have an hour and 10 minutes that people really enjoyed versus an hour and a half where they're like, an hour of it was really funny. Because then it leaves you with this, even if it's the same hour, that extra time.
I also just think the audience doesn't want to see more than an hour of comedy.
No.
Like it's like people are like, "Oh, I did 3 hours the other night." Like, why? Like the audience must have hated it. Like Chappelle used to drop in at the Cellar. He and like Dane Cook were going back and forth like who could do the longer set.
Longest ever, world record, right? They
Yeah.
had like world records.
Yeah, and then I think Bob Marley eventually broke it or something.
Bob Marley from Maine?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Didn't he do like 2 days on stage or
Yeah, he
something?
did
Like,
something
fuck you,
insane.
bitches.
And but Chappelle was down there one time, and I was like, "Oh, I'm gonna go check it out," and it was like almost unwatchable.
Yeah.
because it was like the pacing that that you have to do in order to be on stage that long. And he was funny, but it would be like not funny for long stretches, then a big punchline, and then back into it. You're like, "All right, like this
That
should
was
be great."
when Dave was on hiatus, right? That was when Dave kind of like took time off of comedy for a long time.
Kind of like he wasn't doing specials, but I
Right.
think he was doing like surprise shows. Like he
Yeah.
was always kind of on tour in weird venues. He's still doing that now. You know, he's not
Yeah.
always doing like big giant theaters. He'll just want to book like a 20-seat room.
Yeah.
And make his agents crazy.
Well, he's been doing the Lab at the Improv, that little tiny room, which is
Really?
what, 50 seats?
Maybe.
Yeah, he did it. Aziz did it. That's a place where comedy dies. That little fucked up room.
I have always hated that room.
That room sucks every dick on the planet.
When people are like, "Oh, you can try out new stuff," it's like I can try out new stuff in the main room for a good crowd. Like, why do I want to do this little terrible room? I don't know why it's even there.
Well, it's a weird one, was because the belly room is perfect. The belly room works.
Yeah.
But for some reason, that Lab seems like, why is there comedy here? Why is the door right there? Why is the street right there? What is this?
Yeah.
What is this here? What do you got going on here?
Everything about it is bad.
Yeah. Like, I was trying to tell them. I go, turn that into the comics green room. Like, no, there's good comedy there. I'm like, shut your mouth. You shut your mouth. You turn that into the comics green room.
Yeah.
They used to be where the bar was, remember?
I know.
They used to be like where everybody would hang out before the show.
It was great.
It was great. And you'd go in the other room to go on stage. And you would go from that part to go on stage. Now everybody goes from the front door to go on stage. So you're trapped in that little hallway. And you're like, where the fuck, where do I hide?
Yeah. Yeah, there's nowhere to hide. That's why I love the stores so much.
Yeah.
'Cause there's so many places to hide.